Okay, today we're going to finish out our project um, here. We're going to finish this game out. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that we have a glitchy movements whenever we are moving either the soccer ball or the goalie. So whenever I move the goalie, you can see that it moves in a very glitchy manner, like it's very direct. We have dealt with this before. Whenever we did the architecture block projects, remember that we didn't want to deal with a situation like that where the movements look so stop and go. So we're going to use our same concept that we used for that, and that was to put a repeat until loop. So if I'm looking at my goalie first, then instead of doing the change x by -10, I'm going to put a repeat until loop in. And then I'm going to put my change x by 10, -10 in there. And I need to go into my operators and put a not loop in. So it's going to repeat until the left arrow key is not pushed. And now I just change this to left arrow. So that now whenever I function across this movement and I'm going left, you can see that my goalie moves to the left in a much smoother fashion than it did before. When I move it to the right, it's still glitchy. So your first part of this assignment is going to be to fix that. I can simply copy this code, so I'll unjoin it and duplicate it. I'll drop it in here, and then I'll make the necessary changes to it. Get rid of that now. Instead of being -10 for the right arrow key, that's going to be a +10. And then I change this to right arrow. So now whenever I move my goalie, he moves much smoother. And if you notice yesterday, if I was trying to push the A and D keys to move the soccer ball while I was moving the goalie, it wouldn't work. And now it is going to work because I have those different codes in there for the goalie to move until I stop pressing the key. So the first part of the project is I want you to do the same thing with the soccer ball. So I've done it with the goalie and showed you how to do it. You basically have to do the same thing with the soccer ball, and that's going to be part of your score. All right. So in addition to that, I want to make it so that whenever I kick the soccer ball, it's not so predictable. Every time I hit the space bar now, as I'm running this program, whenever I hit the space bar, you know exactly where the ball is going to go. It's going to go straight forward. And so because it's going straight forward, it's much easier to stop. So we're going to actually change it so that it's not going to be as easy to stop. I want you to click on the soccer ball, and now we're going to make it so that with different button pushes, we can change the trajectory of the soccer ball so that it doesn't go straight all the time. So A and D move the soccer ball left and right. So if you're controlling that, then you're controlling the left side of the keyboard. So we want to make something else occur, different types of kicks occur based off of that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy part of the code from up here with the goalie. and I'm going to make it just a different trajectory. So first, I'm going to change it so that when the Q button is pressed, when I press the Q button, now this part controls how it went with going straight forward. So I'm going to actually just do that part of the code again. Repeat. And we're going to repeat it 15 times, just like we did before. And it's going to change the Y by 10. And then because it's the Q button, I'm going to want it to go to the left. So I'm going to change the X by -10. So that now if I push the Q button, my ball goes in the diagonal to the left. Now I want this all to work exactly the same way. You hear the cheering, maybe? I want this all to work exactly the same way as it did before. So I'm also going to drop a forever loop in and go into this position. So I mean, what probably would have been the better way to handle this? Delete this, grab this, duplicate it, and here I'll put the changing the X by -10. So if I do it that way, it creates this problem here. It really just messes it all up. Until the space key is pressed. Okay. So we have to duplicate this, drop it in down here. I'm going to repeat this until the Q button is pressed. And hopefully that will fix our problem. We'll do this one, the green flag. And now drop our change X by -10. So now I can move it. And if I press the Q button, it scores a goal. Press the A and D button to move it. There we go. So this is going to repeat until the Q button is pressed, and then it changes my X by -10, my Y by 10. so that I have now created a diagonal kick with the Q button. So now I'm controlling whether it goes diagonally to the left or straight with the space bar. And additionally today, I want you to create a command with the W button. So the W button, or you can make it the E button, that's probably better. So that I'm moving left and right with A and D, and then the button above that, Q, makes it go to the left, and E would make it go to the right. So I want you to repeat this code, but with the E button as well. So you're going to repeat it until the E button is pressed, and then you're going to have to figure out how you're going to change this to make it go up and to the right. The last part of this is going to be, I guess we'll do one more day on this, and we'll make it so that whenever we are actually playing the game, we keep score. So we'll do one more day on it. That is your goal for today, is to get all this code set up from yesterday and today so that we are ready to finish the project out for the last time. So Beat the Goalie 2, we'll be using yesterday's assignment and today's, or yesterday's video and today's, in order to move your goalie. Remember that even though we changed the goalie, it'll be your responsibility to change the soccer ball so it moves smoothly. And then you're going to add the code so that it makes a left diagonal kick and a right diagonal kick as well. All right, well, that's it for today. See you next time.